All right, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be looking at taking the next step in kind of the brains of the Battlesnake. So with this, we're going to be actually evaluating the different strategies to use that to help pick a direction we're going to go. Sorry. So let's pull up the code. All right. All right. So with this, so there's one small change, a couple small changes I made. One is for the random strategy. I've also made the confidence random. So now we're fully random for this one. And for our snake, what I did is I put in two randoms and then the left and the up. But right now it's not using those strategies at all. So that's what we're going to do. So what we want to do with this is essentially do something where we're going to end up with something like left is going to be 0.23, right is going to be 0.9, up is going to be 1.4 or 1.3. I'm just putting random stuff, and down is 9. So if we get something like this as our output from our strategies, we can then get that and grab whatever one's the highest, and we're going to say, okay, we want to pick 9. So let's work through that. So we're going to start off by grabbing our strategies. And what we're wanting to do is we want to kind of boil all, because there could be in this case 4, there could also be 50. We want to reduce that down to a subset. So we're going to do a reduce, and we're going to start off by just doing an empty hash. So in here we're getting directions, and we're going to have our strategy. And we're going to do stuff, and then we're going to spit out the directions that have been updated. Directions. And this. So once we do get that, those directions, the full results, we're going to want to go through that, and we want to get the max by, and we're going to be. So what we're going to do with this max by last, what that's going to do is it's going to pass in each one of these as a key value pair. So we're going to be using last to grab the last part of it. So it's going to grab 0.3, 0.9, 1.3, and it's give us whatever's the max. So it's going to give us this key out of it. And from that, we're going to grab the first. So we're going to evaluate it by the 9, and then we're going to return down. So we're evaluating by the last, and then we're spitting out first. All right, so that's what we're doing there. So now we got to do stuff. So for stuff, we're gonna get a strategy. So we're gonna do strategy new, because that's gonna be the class that we're getting passed in. We're gonna put in the state, and we want to pick that use that to call pick direction. So we get the choice from that. Then what we want to do is, if we go directions, choice dot direction. So by default, this is going to be nil, which is going to cause all kinds of fun. So we're going to go or equals 0, and on here we're going to go plus equal choice dot confidence. So that's going to be the random part in this case. But we want to scale this based on the strategy dot last. Actually, so yeah, I did that wrong. So this strategy is going to be strategy dot first, because that's going to get the class, and strategy dot last is going to get the weight. So in here we're going to be doing the confidence times the weight and adding that to the direction. All right, so if we come over here and run this, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a tap on here. So I'm just going to inject this in the middle of this to spit it out. What a tap does is it passes it into the block, but then it will just, I can't alter or anything here. It's not going to do anything with it. So it's just a way to kind of hook in to see what's going on. And that's weird. All right, so if I come in here and run this again, this should, yeah, so here we're going up and left are those. Up and left is that. Why am I only getting up and lefts? That seems odd. Oh, here we go. Right, down, left, up. So the left and the up are getting the 0.5, which is what they were, and then we're getting a right and a down that are random. Yeah, and that actually makes more sense. It just happened to have picked up and left. Left, right, up. So that's working. So this does work. So that's good. So in here, let's make this a little bit better now. So first off, this we can avoid this by actually in here we can do hash dot new, and if we pass in a value here, that will be the default for anything that isn't found. So if I do Rails C, if I do hash dot new and I look up something, this is gonna be nil. But if I go in here and do hash new 0, this will give me 0 as the default value. So we're just basically taking advantage of that. So if we do hash.new 0, then we can get rid of this. And if we run it again, nothing blows up. Great. The next thing that is annoying in here is doing this strategy.first, strategy.last is gross. So let's do a, what is it? I always forget this. I have to look it up. Is it standard class, I think? So we're going to call this strategy type, and let's put await. So what this is going to do is this is going to act basically like an active record class, which is where we're going to be going. So we can go in here and go strategy.strategy type and strategy.wait. And if I've remembered everything correctly, which I haven't. All right, what am I doing wrong here? Ruby std, is it class or object? That's not looking for. Is it OpenStruct then? Yeah, that's what it is. There we go. All right. So with this setup, okay. So with this, this is pretty readable code. this works well. We can now get rid of this tap. This is pretty dense in terms of the code that's going on here. I could see maybe doing something where we pull the weight into the pick direction, but that's kind of independent of each other. So that might be okay to leave as is. So the idea behind this will be for our next step is that this will end up becoming an associated record. So it's actually not going to be pulling in here something statically, it will be something dynamic. But I think that's where I'm going to stop for today, since this works well. All right. And I'm coughing on everything. So yeah, so with this change, this now means that we can dynamically pull in those different strategies and use them appropriately. That lets us kind of, so where we're going to be heading is I'll make a snake and it'll have different weightings for different strategies. And I'll make another snake and have different weightings for different strategies. We'll be able to battle these snakes together and over time use them to say, well, with these different weightings, things work better or worse. With that, I can just go and spawn 1,000,000 snakes, battle them all against each other, see what their win-loss ratio is, and get the ones that perform best, kind of tinker with the different weightings, and create another 1,000,000 snakes, see how they go, and just continuously do that iterative process to see what kind of best ratio of different weightings makes most sense. This is, yeah, so that's kind of the idea. So that is where we're heading, and that's what we'll be taking for our next step. All right, take care.